G'day everyone and welcome back to part 2 of Life on the Hulls and our Epic Catamaran Deck Demould and flip and placement on the hulls. It's good to see you made it back on time onto the site, but at your hourly rate, I'm going to knock this deck flip over and placement quick smart. In fact, this 25-minute video went on for about 3.5 hours, so to save on costs, I'm basically not going to pay you. And given the cliffhanger I left you with last week, I reckon you're all entitled to a beer at your own expense to celebrate the event. Please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like it and subscribe. And it's great to see so many people commenting and fully invested in this build. If you are new to our channel, welcome to part 2 of this crazy day getting our deck of our 12.7 metre catamaran in place. Now I'm going to kick off this week's video where I left off last week. I left you with a short time lapse and robbed you of the complete experience. But basically, we had the deck out of the mould and using the 4 lifting mounts that were plywood gussets, and they were actually glassed to the underside surface of the deck there. Basically, that was pretty straightforward, apart from a small sticking point on the rear lounger of the actual catamaran deck. It all went pretty smoothly. It took around an hour and a half to get that out of the mould, and yeah, it was nice that it came out undamaged. Now, the re-rigging actually started again. We had to actually remove the rigging, the existing rigging we had there, and then pick it up on the starboard side mounts and basically lift it vertically. Now, this is where the stress, and it's a bit of a freaky experience when you lift something this big up in the air. We'd had around 5 weeks of solid wind, and we're very, very pleased to confirm that morning that we had no wind until just after I finished the placement of the deck on the hulls. The winds almost every day for weeks on end. I was able to squeeze in a window, a great weather window for this event to happen.
I've got to say I'm pretty happy. That's good. Those wheels are going to be useless until we get past that point. Get that mattress, John. Hang on, we're just going to get the mattress out, Derek. I'll get the tyres. We've got a massive tarp here too. Tyres first. Chuck that down there, mate. Get the tyres and going to put it right. Oh, it's going to go right, but once he lifts it, it's going to start to roll back. So. Yeah, the wheels have got to touch down, but we've got to worry about the side of the boat hitting. You all right? Get control of it. Righto, go. Wow. Get caught up, Ross. You got a wheel down? Get right on. Holy shit. That's freaky, eh?
What are your thoughts on this wheel? It's all twisting.
I don't care about the wheel as long as it doesn't touch down. It's not going to matter, mate. Vertical. As soon as it's vertical, it's safe.
Are you right there?
No, I'm good. I'm out of the way. It's fine.
I can't see here.
No, I'm right. No, you're right, Al. Don't worry if it hits. It doesn't matter. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. All right, pick him up. Yep, up a bit. Let's get it vertical and hold it there. Yeah, can you get it up a bit or not? Right, okay, he's going to have to hold it because I've got to get rid of all this shit here so he can bring it back. Right, just stand there for a sec.
We're going to remove the tyres and everything.
Let's get everything here, Al.
Yep.
Hold it there, just don't get under the way. We get everything here out of the way. Just hold it.
Did you get a photo of that yet?
I've got a bit of video.
Hang on. Rossco, get in there. Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
Think so. What a moment.
You might be able to edit it a bit better.
Right, let's just have a bit of a look at what we've got here because we need to re-rig.
Okay, there it is. Flipping big.
Shit, get hold of it, guys. Get the dog man on it. Have we got a strap on this end? Down the bottom here?
You won't need the bottom one to pull it over.
Fuck. I feel sick. Can't concentrate on that.
I don't think it matters. Yeah, plenty of room. Plenty of room for there.
Re-rigging the deck part at this stage required passing nylon lifting straps around the timber mounts glass to the underside of the deck on the hatches on the foredeck, and through the holes in the rear hatches, which was just like a hole saw hole, I fed through a steel bar with bolts fitted to stop the straps from sliding off. At this point we worked out the weight of the deck to be in the vicinity of 1300 kilos, which is around 200 kilos over what I anticipated, and that accounts for the plywood, demoulding mounts, purlins, excess window laminates and hatch cutouts that will be removed at a later date. So ultimately I was aiming for around 1 tonne to 1100 kilos, and the additional mounts for the lift once removed would actually bring that deck down to that weight.
Legal or not? Oh.
Righto, let's do it. Alright guys, it's up to you guys to turn it around and keep it under control, okay? The stress is on you.
No worries.
It's all up to you. Oh, it's a great angle to film it from. Oh, it's been an absolutely epic morning. Holy shit. It's been worse than the hull. Get it right up and then just watch the boom lights and the mirror. Don't get under it, please. No one under it. Oh, the fun bit's happening. I'm almost done, mate. Like a massive, eh?
Corner of the building.
I won't. What time is it? It's only 9, isn't it? What time is it?
What's the job, son?
Stop it. You know what I wanted to do, Jaden. You know what I meant. Look at that, look at that. How good's that look? Yeah. Woo! That looks unreal, fellas. Up, we're on the corner here, we're gonna get caught. Oh, we're good, yeah, we're good. Holy shit, look at that. Wow. Probably a little higher. Down a little bit, the other guys. Hang on, slow. Hang on, I can't see. Oh, I've got control of it here. It's got to come this way. Look at that, boys and girls. Yeah, if he comes forward, it'll swing. Come forward, mate. What steel, John? Oh, yeah. That's all right. Once that's it. Just lift it up a bit, Derek. Just a bit higher. A little bit higher. Higher. No, it's got to go higher. It's hitting the module. Right over. A bit higher, mate. A little bit higher if we can. Righto. Just got to watch your mirror. Hang on, we're getting there. Hang on, watch the building. Come straight forward, mate. Straight forward, we've got to watch that building there.
Building here.
Keep coming. Keep coming. Forward.
Come in, Ross. Forward. Got to come to us.
No, it needs to go your way, Greg. No, it's on the middle bit.
Oh.
No, it's...
There's a bit of wood here. Oh, there it is, jump behind.
There you go.
Right. Down, where it's got to go.
Well, it's down there, but it...
Yeah, it's got to come forward.
Ah, okay. I got you.
Oh, that's good. Hey, Derek. Bring it forward a little bit, Derek. Bring it forward like that. Now bring it forward.
The lifting and stiffening purlins were strategically placed so as to remain out of the way at the point of the placement, but I failed to recognise the height of the main central compression bulkhead that was right in the way, so the purlin was removed and then a precise corner cut off the forward edge of the bulkhead to facilitate the placement. At this stage it was all fitting really well once the purlin was removed. See, the placement of the deck only just fit. We had about a centimetre to spare on the gutter on the left building there as that deck flew into the front of the tent. Luckily, because of the taper on the front of the deck, it was fine enough to be able to fit within the arch of the tent itself, and the forward nylons on the crane spreader bar effectively touched down and touched the front of the tent, so it was pretty accurate. No one was confident except for me. Now at this stage I made a bit of a critical error. I sat some wood on top of the 44-gallon drums that were on the rear part of the bridge deck and rested the back part of the cockpit on the actual on those blocks of wood, and unfortunately they slipped right at the critical time when I was standing on top of the small seat in the main saloon dinette, and unfortunately it crashed down and cracked me right on the skull, right where the foam and the solid glass laminate edge was, and unfortunately it was not a good experience. It hit me right on a pressure point on the top of the head. I went down like a bucket of spuds on the deck for a while, and everyone was a bit concerned, and then Janet had enough to say about it, about not wearing a hard hat.
You all right, Ross? Yeah. That's why you need your... Keep telling him to put his hard hat on.
Now, up until now, every single thing had gone to plan, except for the mould and the parts sticking at the beginning, but I found that I had to remove certain parts of the internal part of the boat, and one of those was the robe door on the stern starboard cabin. It was only sitting in place, luckily with a couple of screws, but certainly did need to be replaced prior to that deck finally touching down. There was a little bit of manoeuvring required inch by inch, and ultimately we got it within about 5 centimetres of where it needed to be. I was pretty happy with the whole result, to be honest.
On the back here, Jack. No, stop, the back.
Now, if you saw a couple of weeks ago, I showed you the mounts that I'd put all the way around the outside that were going to support the external flange and the perimeter of the actual boat itself and the deck. Now, there was also some supports inside on the bulkheads that held the whole thing up at 50 centimetres exactly, and I had to play with that a little bit to get the exact height with the jacks once I got them in place, but ultimately we got the whole thing sitting really neatly, and the job was done. I was so stoked to get that finished. And then we were able to push the whole unit back in under the tent and let Neil get back to work because he hadn't done anything. They basically stood there all morning watching and threatened to charge me by the hour for all the jobs that they'd lost during the day. But in all honesty, I couldn't have done it without him. I was able to occupy that entire site for the morning, and we provided a bit of entertainment for some passers-by.
Don't send, hang on, I've got the mask on. Don't send this to the South Coast Register.
There's no one near you. 4 metres away from someone.
I'm done, Derek.
How's that? Just in time for coffee.
I'll even have a sandwich.
Yeah, I think we should be ordering some food too for people.
I've got them there.
Yeah.
Got sandwiches. I'll get one.
Can I have to push it over? I'm going to have to take it.
So as we put this baby back into a tent, I just want to thank the guys for helping me. You all know who you are, top bunch of blokes, and you can't do this sort of thing on your own. It's as simple as that. You try to do everything on your own, and there's just some things you can't do. This one required around 6 blokes, and the great thing was that I had Janet on camera, because there's no way I would have got any of this, probably a couple of still photos and maybe a little bit of video without Janet really concentrating on those cameras. She had 4 cameras going, and it was a particularly difficult edit because there was all the line. I had to get everything lined up and everything synchronized to really show the whole morning. A couple of photos at the end here just to remind you of what an epic event that really was, and just what a great result for us. And now it's time to get back to the build, so I hope you're satisfied with that, and we'll see you next time on Life on the Hulls.